Alright, so we have our first concept art for Avengers Doomsday here. Look, I'm gonna be honest, and I kind of hate to say it, but I feel nothing looking at this. Alright, so let's just kind of break this down and see what we have going on here. First of all, I just think this art in general, this entire composition, something just feels off about it. The color scheme or the arrangement of the characters. But let's see what we got going on here. All right, so in this bottom left corner right here, looks like we have the Thunderbolts. Now, of course, the Thunderbolts were introduced as quote unquote the new Avengers. You know, when the movie was first announced, they kind of had that little asterisk beside the Thunderbolts title because that was just a stand-in, I guess, for what would eventually be the new title, which is the new Avengers. And can I just say, I don't buy this team as any form of the Avengers. It's not to say that I don't like any of these characters. I mean, obviously Bucky, you know, he's a classic. I like his character. Here we have US Agent. I actually grew to like his character more than I thought I would. In the Falcon Winter Soldier TV show, obviously they made him a very unlikable guy, but I think by the end of the Thunderbolts movie, I liked his character a lot more. Looks like right here we have Ghost. Not really a lot to say about her. Here we have Red Guardian. Kind of indifferent when it comes to Red Guardian. I mean, he's fine. I guess he's probably gonna play more of the comedic relief in this movie. And then of course we have Yelena here, played by Florence Pugh. Now again, they kind of set her up to be like the next Black Widow, and I just don't really see it. Again, I like Florence Pugh and I like Yelena's character, but setting her up to be the one to take the place of Scarlett Johansson as Black Widow, I just don't really buy it. Right here we have Paul Rudd as Ant-Man. Not really a whole lot going on here. Looks like kind of the same costume. Let's go ahead and talk about Thor right here. Now, I gotta say, I've never really been a fan of the short haircut for Thor. I know that the long hair may have looked kind of campy in the first couple films, but the short hair, the kind of military cut, I mean, it looks great on Chris Hemsworth because it's Chris Hemsworth, but it just doesn't really give a very comic accurate look to Thor. And something else I'm also not really a fan of is Stormbreaker, which, you know, is his big battle axe. I mean, it's fine, it's cool, but at the same time, I would much rather him, you know, wield his classic hammer, you know, Mjolnir. I don't know, I just feel like with the character of Thor, they just really deviated a lot from the character that they were first kind of building. Alright, let's talk about Cap. So, for those of you who may not know, Captain America is basically my favorite character in the MCU. I love Chris Evans, I think he's a great actor and just seems like a cool guy. But I gotta say, like, Chris Evans' big return to the MCU, and he's coming back in a t-shirt? Now again, this may just be a temporary outfit that he's gonna wear in the movie, but wasn't he the one who said,
if you're gonna fight a war, you gotta wear a uniform?
And just think about this, like if you were unfamiliar with the MCU, if I were to show you this picture and I would say, one of these characters is Captain America, do you think you would directly pick this guy out of the crowd? Because nothing about this says Captain America. Like, he has long hair. I mean, even Thor has more of a military cut than freaking Captain America. He has a beard, which again, Chris Evans can definitely rock a beard, but this is Captain America we're talking about. And again, Chris Evans can rock a black t-shirt, but again, this is Captain America. And I know that he can wield Mjolnir, and that was, you know, such a big deal in Endgame. And I thought it was cool, and I thought it worked in the moment, but I want to see Cap with a shield, man. Come on. All right, let's talk about the X-Men down here. So it's great to see the X-Men back. I think a lot of people were eager to see them, you know, make their way into the MCU. Now, that being said, let's take a look at Cyclops here. So definitely looks like they're going for more of a comic accurate costume, which I do think the costume looks good, but I gotta say, just from an artist standpoint, something is off with these proportions here. I don't know. His head seems a bit too big for his body. His arms seem kind of short. I'm not really sure what's going on like proportionally here, but something is definitely off. But I do think the costume looks good. James Marsden obviously returning as Cyclops. Next up we have looks like we have Mystique and Nightcrawler here. Once again, these are the original actors for these two characters. Here we have Channing Tatum once again returning as Gambit. I actually really enjoyed Channing Tatum as Gambit in Deadpool and Wolverine. I think there was some mixed reception to his performance, but I actually really enjoyed it, and I think he makes a good Gambit. Here we have Kelsey Grammer as Beast. Now I think technically he has appeared in the MCU. I believe he was in the post-credit scene for the Marvels movie, but I didn't see that movie. I don't think anybody did. But I think as opposed to what they did in the original X-Men films where they used makeup and prosthetics on Kelsey Grammer, I think now they're using more of like a mocap thing. I love Kelsey Grammer. I'm a big Frasier fan. I love that show, and I think he's a fantastic actor. And I look forward to seeing him make a return as Beast. And here we have Magneto and Professor X, the Unks return. Up here in the top right, looks like we have Falcon, you know, technically Captain America. I've never really been a fan of Sam Wilson as Captain America. I know it's technically accurate to the comics, but I don't know, like I just think he did better as Falcon. And then up here behind him looks like we have what was his name? I can't even remember the character's name. Isn't he played by Danny Ramirez? Isn't that the actor's name? I can't even think of this character's name. Anyway, Falcon's sidekick. I guess he's the new Falcon. Okay, so right here we have the Fantastic Four looking mighty sharp in their new jackets. You know, maybe an unpopular opinion here, but I actually really enjoyed Fantastic Four First Steps, and I actually like this cast for the Fantastic Four. I think they all played their characters very well. I like this this whole jacket thing they got going. I actually think that's kind of cool. That's kind of stylish. And it looks like down here we have some characters from Black Panther. I believe this is what was her name? Shuri. And then we have is it M'Baku? He's definitely there. There he is. And over here on the right, we have Shang-Chi. I thought the Shang-Chi movie was pretty good. It was enjoyable. I like some kung fu action here and there. I just think we just haven't really seen a lot of Shang-Chi as a character. So it'll be interesting to see kind of what they do with him in this movie. And finally, right here in the middle, we have the man himself, Robert Downey Jr. as Dr. Doom. Now, this Dr. Doom mask, I mean, it looks fine. I mean, it looks good. Nothing out of the ordinary about it. Kind of just looks like your typical Dr. Doom mask. No idea what to expect with RDJ as Dr. Doom. I don't know what kind of, you know, storyline they're going with, if it's going to be some parallel universe kind of thing. I have no idea. And then finally, right here in the middle is kind of hard to spot him, but we do have Loki making his return. Tom Hiddleston obviously is a great actor, so I know that he'll do a great job regardless. But yeah, that kind of caps off this first sneak peek we have at Avengers Doomsday. Still, I don't know, man. I wish I were more excited looking at this. Most of these characters, I just don't really care about. But yeah, those are my overall thoughts. Let me know what you guys think in the comments below. Hope to see you guys on the next one, and as always, catch you later.